Look, despite the fact that women's basketball is more popular than ever, there is a war simmering beneath the packed arenas and record-breaking attendance.
This is the moment that we've been waiting for in women's basketball. And honestly, it's way bigger than that. This is the moment that we've been waiting for in women's sport.
While Kelsey Mitchell, the Beavers' unsung hero, just answered with a response so brutally honest that it left the whole sports media world reeling. ESPN's Cheney is currently making subtle jabs at the Indiana Fever's explosive climb on one side.
I'm so glad I got my sister from another mister, one of the most electrifying guards in the WNBA. She's been breaking records since her college days. We're talking about handles, three-point shooting, and an undeniable work ethic. This woman deserves her flowers. She defines consistency and excellence. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Kelsey Mitchell.
Hi. Because this isn't only about basketball, it's also about the unwavering friendship of two superstars, Mitchell and Caitlin Clark, who resisted letting the media separate loyalty from jealousy and reality from fiction.
Kelsey Mitchell, I am a guard, and I look forward to playing for Team Mitchell.
If you enjoy courageous women standing up for their team, hit the like button and subscribe to watch uncensored sports drama. This is more than simply a viral moment. It's a reckoning. For years, Mitchell has relished the worst moments of the Fever, but now that the league is attempting to sabotage her team's success, she is taking center stage, and her supporters are utterly captivated. Let's get started.
Maybe I'll start with you, Kels, because Lord Jesus, your team and their fans,
Jesus,
they be getting up in everybody's business.
Lord, in a nationwide ESPN interview, Cheney told Kelsey Mitchell, "Jesus, your team and their fans are getting up in everyone's business," suggesting that the hostility started on camera rather than on the court.
I had a follow-up Caitlin right here, which is fine, but the two of you combined for nearly 60-plus points and both shot 54%, each hitting 5 threes. I mean, what is going on in the backcourt for you two?
I think that me and Kaylin, as well as our group, I think we just found a way to, for one, understanding.
To some, it may have sounded like banter, but to those who have endured years of losses and deserted stadiums, it wasn't funny. Rather, it was a tried-and-true attempt to downplay a team's rise to prominence in the media rather than a respectable force built on grit, loyalty, and sacrifice. And nobody knows that sacrifice better than Mitchell.
Ionescu will heave and hit! Asia Wilson with 1,000 career points on the season. Far from the logo.
Mitchell State went through 7 seasons of arduous reconstruction, the loss of her father just before the 2023 season started, and the pain of seeing her heyday vanish into obscurity as WNBA players moved to upscale markets and championship-ready lineups.
The fans, Kels, anything else you want to say to the fans? Full house today.
To all the fathers out there, happy Father's Day. I've been fortunate enough to have a really great father in my life for the last 28 years. He passed recently. And so to the fathers out there, keep doing y'all thing. We won't be here without you guys. And so enjoy y'all Father's Day.
This superhero didn't shrink, man. Instead, she picked Indiana. When the spotlight finally reaches the Fever, Mitchell is refusing to allow anyone change the story. Not the media, not ESPN, not Lord Jesus, not the people, and nobody else.
Oh man, I think I've seen both sides of it. For one, like being on the team with like Caitlin and knowing that some of the stuff and the wave that she created for like us, where the game is and what she's been a part of, like as far as this process, I've seen so much of it. And so I think for me lately is the shift in moments in Indiana period, as far as like the arena, where we started, and B was my vet, kinda, right? Kinda.
We up there, sis. We up there.
She was a Fever girl first, and so she also saw, and she's a vet too. They've seen what Indiana was, and I think now where it's at now, the big moment is seeing the.
For far too long, Mitchell was disregarded, buried beneath the hype, and written off by the media, which now pretends to care. However, today, she is the backbone of the league's most exciting team and speaks for all the underdogs who never got their flowers. Whether the league likes it or not, she is done being silent because when that comment was made, she didn't just sit there and smile. Instead, she fired back with truth, not drama, and in that moment, it wasn't about ego or headlines. It was about defending her team, her city, and the people who stood by her when no one else did.
And to add on to what Christine asked about women's sports in general, you guys have played almost every game before a sellout crowd this whole season, wherever you've gone. And how much does that affect you on the court? And do you ever look around and say, hey, this place is packed, they want to see us? Those kinds of things?
I blame the but I think it's a really great opportunity for us to like present, who we are as a team. And I think that the work that the class that came in, draft class that came in, did a really good job of putting themselves on the pedestal to be known, to be seen, and I think that we can utilize that.
The stats not only change the game, but are also truthful. Instead of showcasing Caitlin Clark, ESPN analysts smirk and claim that it's not just about one player and that the league was fine before her. But in reality, these people are scared. Clark is rewriting history by selling out arenas, sending merchandise flying off shelves, shattering records set during the Jordan era, and the WNBA establishment has responded with backhanded compliments, veiled insults, and outright resentment.
Shooter at 90% will take 3 here at the line.
11 offensive rebounds a game, one of the best in the league.
Clark frees up Boston for 7% from 3. Have so much size in the front.
The WNBA has been seeking a transcendent star for decades, and now that she has arrived, they are unclear of how to manage her. Her $28 million Nike contract exceeds most veteran salaries, which is why the court finds it simple.
Hasn't shot, but it's just a great job. Change of spin down. An excellent screen. Look at this beautiful Caitlin Clark. The handle's right. Here gets the 3 small.
Her highlight reel passes and logo threes outperform the league's conventional grinded-out strategy, and her unshakable confidence directly challenges the current quo.
Here we go. One of the most anticipated matchups in the history of women's college basketball. Caitlin Clark and Iowa.
But this is what most infuriates the critics. In addition to attracting new fans, Clark also brought in a horde of 73-year-old grandfathers who had never seen a women's game in their lives, teenage girls who now wear her jersey, and LeBron's casual sports fans who tune in to watch what she does. Then, when Kelsey Mitchell stood in front of the cameras and said that Caitlin Clark was largely responsible for the growth of women's basketball, it wasn't just support. Rather, it was a declaration of war against the gatekeepers who had spent months attempting to downplay her impeachment. The message is clear. Even if the media continues to act otherwise, Mitchell and millions of new fans will be there to remind them, one viral moment at a time.
How have you guys experienced? Is there like a moment that you think of when it comes to the explosion of the game and how it has changed the game?
Your team and its supporters are receiving business advertisements from everyone. The ESPN panel waited as the cameras rolled, expecting silence, compliance, and a forced smile from Kelsey Mitchell as she swallowed the disdain the test they expected to be wrong. Lord J, the Chinese smile curves into the frame, establishing the trap. The producers off camera likely choked on their coffee because this wasn't just a reply but a declaration of war, and the subtext of the Chinese barb was clear that the Fever's ascent is a fluke and their supporters are annoying. The air in that room turned cold, and the Chinese grin faded, but Caitlin Clark's dominance is only temporary. Mitchell didn't hesitate, stutter, or even blink before slicing through the story with surgical accuracy. Instead of merely rejecting the notion, Mitchell used a single remark to highlight the WNBA's media apparatus's shortcomings.
And now Clark comes up with a steal. Clark thought about pulling up from 3, will dip inside and lay it in. There are the first points in the WNBA career of Caitlin Clark.
No, they don't want a well-known individual they didn't choose. They don't want an unmanageable fan base, and they most surely don't want a brave, battle-tested veteran like Mitchell to confront them on live television for making fun of a white lady.
If you have you are.
Social media was quickly used by fans to attack ESPN for his blatant bigotry, which is why people don't trust the media. The WNBA's greatest ploy was to convince everyone that the rivalry sells tickets, but Clark and Mitchell are breaking the mold, and the league can't handle that. Kelsey just ended her entire career, but the real harm Mitchell showed was that the players hold the power. The Fever aren't just changing the rules of the game, they're rewriting them.
Turn it over, and the chemistry between these two, it is blossoming every game.
Just nice handoff, one dribble to get it right back.
what seems to be an easy.
This goes beyond backcourt synergy to create a basketball symphony. Mitchell, the battle card assassin who bled for this team during its darkest years, and Clark, the meteoric phenom who brought the entire sport into the mainstream, shouldn't work together on paper. They are the league's most lethal duo, a volume scorer and a passer's maestro, but here they are in the media's worst nightmare because they refuse to play the BS media game. The WNBA craves drama, manufactured beef, and catty sound bites, but Mitchell and Clark are far too focused on winning when the media tried to match Clark against Angel Ree. When Clark felt nasty, Mitchell shut it down. Clark insisted that she win Player of the Month, but Mitchell outperformed her. This isn't just a board, it's a middle finger to all the haters who believed that jealousy would split them apart and the opponents were frightened. Twice you locked down, and Mitchell and Clark will slaughter you with a 25 a night on near-perfect efficiency. They will drop so filthy that they belong on a mixtape. There is no strategy, there is no weakness to take advantage of. There are only two murderers who fared worse than any defense. I'm referring to betrayal, anguish, and pressure, and they emerged victorious.
Clark signs it up Cunningham. Here is Mitchell. Another three. Mitchell is locked in.
Great 1-2 punch there from Clark.
The media cannot break them. The league cannot overlook the fever, since they have the deepest bench and the finest starting lineup. For many years, the WNBA pleaded for respect from the sports industry, which saw them as nothing more than an afterthought. They ran marketing campaigns, put Watch Us work on billboards, and urged fans to give women's basketball a chance. They also begged for prime time slots and corporate sponsors, and after that, Caitlin Clark appeared. The haters will suffer throughout the season because this isn't just a partnership, it's a revolution, and Mitchell and Clark are just getting started. They're taking this game beyond race and making it all about the players.